Hey CEP 401ers, welcome to Unit 1. Are the helping professions for you? Here's what we're going to do in Unit 1. The unit objectives are 1. To challenge you to examine your motivations for wanting to become a helper, to identify the characteristics of an effective helper, to introduce various mental health professions, to develop a list of criteria for selecting a professional program, to develop an approach for selecting a career path, and to assess attitudes and beliefs about helping. It's a big list. Let's get to it. One of the things I really want you to look at in this unit is what are your needs as a helper? And they list some of the typical needs and motivations of helpers. These include to make an impact, to reciprocate, to care for others, and to work on your personal issues or self-help. Common needs of helpers are also to be needed, to gain prestige, status, or power, to provide answers, and to gain and maintain control. Now, usually it's a combination of factors. Some of those, or all of those, play into the needs of a helper at some way, shape, or form. So here's question 1. You'll see this in your unit assignment. Take a look over the list of typical needs and motivations for becoming a helper. What are your main motivations for wanting to be a helper? What personal needs do you think will be satisfied in your work as a helper? And think of helping in broad. We have lots of different majors and interests represented in this class. So I want you to take it from what you view the helper to be, okay? Not what you think, the counselor would be. So take a look at you and why are you attracted to the helping professions, okay? And then the second part of that is, are there any needs described in the text that you can't identify with? If so, what is it and why? Okay, so you've got question 1 under your belt. If you've already read the book, you may want to stop the video at this point and go ahead and answer question 1 in your assignment. If you haven't read the book yet, though, you may want to watch this video all the way through and then do the reading and then go back and answer the questions in the assignment, because there'll be some useful information that you'll get from your reading that will help you answer that probably even better than just this video. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Another thing we want to look at in this unit, one of the other important things, is the portrait of the ideal helper. Okay, and now these are some characteristics of helpers who are making a significant difference. So think about this. Ideal helpers usually have a commitment to assessing personal strengths and weaknesses. Now we're going to start some of this work right here in this class. We're going to be looking at strength finders, your strengths, your values, your attitudes, and how that might impact your work with somebody else. So we're going to get right off to helping you build this characteristic of an ideal helper, okay? Knowing your biases are going to help you in understanding and working with other people. So we'll be doing that this semester. A curiosity and openness to learning. Ideal helpers usually have good interpersonal skills. They're going to work well with other people. And they're going to recognize that change requires hard work, that it doesn't just happen. And working with those in counseling to create their own change plan is key. Okay, let's look at some additional characteristics of ideal helpers. One is going to be that they're welcoming and understanding of diversity. Clients are going to be different than you, and you need to be able to work with that. Ideal helpers have an awareness of personal problems and interactions with clients. Really give some attention and thinking about those interactions. They have meaningful relationships with others and a commitment to self-care. We started that commitment to self-care back in the Welcome and Introduction unit when you made your stress reduction plans. And finally, ideal helpers are resourceful and flexible in applying strategies for change. When you're working with a client, you have to find what's going to work for them, and it might not be what would work for you. So being able to work with that is helpful. Ideal helpers also question life and engage in self-examination. We've already started on that process. And ideal helpers have a healthy sense of self-love. So we're to question 2. It's, what do you think of this description of the ideal helper? And that refers to the last 3 slides and those characteristics of ideal helpers. What personal traits do you think are most important for being an effective helper? Give that some thought and report out in your assignment. Okay, so you've got the characteristics of ideal helpers. You've thought about some of the things that they do and what characteristics are important. And that's really the case no matter which of the helping professions you're really in. Now let's talk about the overview of the helping professions. So when we're talking helping professions, we're talking about social work, couples and family counseling, clinical and counseling psychology, school counseling, rehabilitation counseling, drug and alcohol counseling, and paraprofessional and human services work. We'll also be talking in the course about an expanded definition of the helping professions. We'll be talking and working with educators and teachers, with law enforcement officials, and pretty much those who touch the helping, working with people, and helping people. Okay, so there you see educators on the list. Also add law enforcement professionals to that. So part of your assignment is to take a look at the helping professions and start to make sense of them. What does each profession include? What is their focus? How do they approach their work in helping people? Take a look at those things, and then I want you to think about, of all the helping professions described, which one appeals to you most and why? So you'll know on your work which of the helping professions appeals to you most currently. That may change over the course of the semester, and that's good. You'll be learning more about each of the areas. But let's talk a little bit about factors in choosing a career path. Okay, so choosing a career path is an ongoing process rather than a one-time event. So your process towards a helping profession may evolve as you learn more, and it may evolve over the course of your career. So in choosing a career, you'll want to consider some of the following factors. Self-concept, how do you see yourself? Motivation and achievement, what your interests are, what your abilities are, what you value. So I'd really like you to keep an open mind as you learn more about the helping professions this semester. Actual career in helping professions. So some of those work values are going to be income, power, prestige, job security, achievement, family relationships, serving people, adventure, creativity, and inner harmony. So question 4. Go ahead and complete the values to consider in choosing your career path self-quiz. It's in your Becoming a Helper text. It starts on page 26. Okay? After completing that self-quiz, in what ways do you see your values as being related to your career aspirations? Do your results fit with what you were thinking? Of the work values listed, what are your top 3 values? So now we're on to question number 5, okay? Now you're going to complete a self-assessment. This time it's the inventory of your attitudes and beliefs about helping. It's also in Becoming a Helper, and it starts on page 29. So turn to that self-assessment and take it, okay? After taking the inventory, I want you to take a look at what are a few of the items you found yourself most struggling to answer. Okay, and what are some of the topics in the self-assessment that you'd like to most do further reading and reflection on. Okay, that kind of wraps up Unit 1 for you. We'll talk about the things that you need to do to complete Unit 1 and to get that off your plate. I just want to take a look ahead quickly so you'll know what Unit 2 is going to focus on. Unit 2 is about knowing your values and helper know thyself. So some of the assessments that we took in this unit will actually play over, and we'll be talking about those a little more as we roll into Unit 2. Unit 2 is going to focus on clarifying your values and understand how your values are likely to influence your work as a helper. We're going to explore common value-laden issues that clients bring to counseling. We'll identify ways to handle value conflicts in helping relationships. We'll explore some family rules, beliefs, patterns, and experience in families of origin and how they impact professional work. And we'll take a look at the major stages of the lifespan. So be sure to tune in for Unit number 2. We're wrapping up with Unit 1. Just a quick reminder that your assignments and quiz are due by the second Sunday of the unit. Be sure to get them in. To complete Unit 1, you'll need to read Becoming Helper Chapter 1. Watch all the Unit 1 videos. You'll find those all on UB Learns. Complete Unit 1 assignment. That's actually assignment number 2, the assignment for Unit 1. And complete the Unit 1 quiz. And if you have any questions at any point during the course of this unit, don't hesitate to contact me. Have a great couple weeks here, and I'll see you back here, Unit 2, although I'm sure I'll be talking to you in the meantime.